All right, it's Mr. Barr, and this is matrix vocabulary. First question, is this a column matrix? No, this is not a column matrix. Column matrices go up and down. Is this an identity? No, this is not an identity. Identity would be had all ones on the diagonal and then zeros. Is this an identity? No, this is not an identity. Identity would do 1, 1, 1 with 0, 0, 0, 0, zeros all across it. So no, this is not an identity. How many elements does this have? You know what? I should talk more about that identity. Here. I'm going to show you an identity so you know what an identity looks like. So an identity matrix, right here, would be like 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. And an identity has a bunch of ones on the diagonal, and it's always like a perfect square. It's like a 3 by 3 or a 2 by 2 to get an identity matrix. How many elements does this thing have? This has 9 elements in it. 3 by 3 is 9. What are the dimensions of this? Okay, dimensions, it's rows times columns. So to do dimensions, you're going to do rows times columns. So this is a 3 by 2. Rows, 3 rows, 2 columns. Is it a square matrix? Yes, it is a square matrix. It's 3 by 3, which is a square. How many elements? This has 6 elements. What is element 1, 1? Okay, once again, this is row, column. So when I'm looking at an element, this is a row, column. So I want row 1, column 1, which is right there, which is -4. Row 1, column 1. Which of these matrices are square matrices? Okay, this is the only square. This is a square matrix, and that's a square matrix. This is just a column. What kind of matrix? It's a square, definitely a square matrix. It is an identity matrix, right? Because it's 1 by 1. It's not a column. It's not a row. It's not a zero. Zero matrix would all be zeros in it. Element is row 2. This is row 2, column 2, so it's a 6. Oh, row 2. I did row 1, column 2. Mr. Barr. Is this an identity? No, this is a 0 matrix. Is it an identity? No. What are the dimensions? This is a 2 by 2. How many elements? This has 4 elements in it. What? Row 1, column 2. Row 1, column 2 is 0. So this is row 1, column 1. Row 1, column 1 is 5. What kind of matrix? This is a row matrix. It's a 0 matrix. It's not an identity. It's not a column. It's not a square. How many elements does this have? It has 9. This is also a square matrix and a 0 matrix. What element is in row 4, column 1? Row 4, column 1 is 10. Which of these matrices are column matrices? This is the only column. This is a square. That's a row. What are the dimensions? Rows times columns, 1 by 2. Excellent. What element is in row 2, column 2? So -6 over 5, -6 over 5. Ooh, challenge zone. It's a fraction. Is this an identity? This is not an identity. The identity, the ones need to be on the diagonal coming down this direction. This is not an identity matrix. An identity, the ones are coming down on the diagonal, or so I think. Let's see if I am right. If I am wrong, we'll correct myself. This is a 0 matrix. It's also a square matrix. Identity. This is an identity right here. Do you see the ones coming down on a diagonal? This is not. and this is not. Dimensions, this is rows by columns, 6 by 3. Six by 3. How about 4 by 3? Yes, I do understand what I'm doing. All right, I think I got you pretty close to this. This is 7/4. Which of these matrices are square? That's a square. This is a row and a row. This is an identity matrix and a square matrix, and that's it. Kind of want to get to the 100 now. Is this an identity? No. Identities, the ones are coming down diagonally from the top left. Come on. Zero matrice. That's a zero matrice. All zeros. This is not an identity. Identity would have a bunch of zeros in it. Is this an identity? No. How many elements does this have? It has 2 elements. Come on, get that 100. What element is in row 1, column 2? That's a 2. What kind of matrix? This is a column matrix. No, it's a row matrix. A row matrix, that's it. Identity, nope. Dun dun dun! Mr. Barr, it took me 5 minutes. Brilliant.